You could say that traditions like Dzogchen and some others sort of start the spiritual journey, if you will, at the end of the journey, um, pointing out essentially that this is the end of the road. This is the final. This is the completion of everything. This is the fulfillment that we're looking for. This is the wholeness that we were searching for. Right now, this very moment that's being felt is the great completion. This moment is, as you feel this moment, notice that the presence of what's here, this aliveness that's here, leaves nothing out. In other words, it's a vast, boundless, edgeless inclusivity. Feel that. It's a single expanse, a limitless singularity. This aliveness, there really is no word, right? For this that's here, but it's complete. This is the end of the path. Let this be the end of looking for something else, because this is it. This can't be any fuller than it is, because this is the fullness of everything. This is the nature of everything, the being of everything. I don't have it with me because I'm traveling this weekend, but there's a poem. Maybe I'll share it in another Zoom that I wrote many years ago in my first book, and I speak to that thing that I have experienced, considerable amount of my life of having this understanding, like this is it, this is home, this is the great completion, this is everything, and it has always been everything, and it's never missing. And then this curious like sense of searching, can re-arise, searching for something presumably even better, even more somehow. And in the poem, I write about the folly of that, really, um, because nothing can be added unto this that is everything. Do you see? Like it can't be any more than this fullness that it already is, this absolute fullness and completeness. That's the great completion. Like we think, oh, if I could just have one other experience that just to get it right, just to have that insight, the perfect insight or whatever it is we imagine might be missing. It's like, it's not going to add anything to this because this is already inclusive of everything. You can't, it's like the cup of this is already completely overflowing. So you can't pour any more experience into it to somehow make it fuller. Do you see what I mean? It's like there's nothing more to see. There's nothing more to realize. There's nothing more to discover. Even though paradoxically, the discovery of what this is endless because it's infinite and boundless. So we can enjoy the endless discovery, all the myriad ways that this can appear, and the depth of it is endless and fathomless, the subtlety of it. So I don't mean to suggest that somehow there's some sort of final resting place where no new discoveries occur. I don't mean it that way. But all of the discoveries are it. And so in that sense, like just I'm inviting you to just let the search for something else come to an end, because there isn't anything else. You are made of this that is everything. What you are is inseparable from this that is everything. Just feel that and let that be the great completion that it is, the end of the road of looking for something else. You see? There is no future anyway. There's just this presence of being that exists outside of time and yet appears as the flow of time. It's funny, we kind of have it all upside down. Like we think if we could just have one more insight, one more experience, we finally understand, what all these teachings are about. Uh, But meanwhile, the experience we're having right now is it. You see, the experience is the upwelling of reality, the shining forth of reality. Is it not? This is the great perfection. This is the great completion, just as it is. It's what you are. It's what you've always been. So we think we have to do something oftentimes to realize this, but this can't, you're never without this. You always are this. Do you see? It's like this home is what you are. This is because it's the only thing that exists, the home of being, the home of the pure, unfathomable mystery that this is. It's the great home, but it's the great completeness, the great completion that it's right here and always right now and never absent. You could try with all of your might to remove yourself from this somehow, to be separate from it, but you will never pull that off because there's only this, there is no separation. Do you feel that? Where is there separation? There's just again, no words, but call it the field of experiencing, for lack of a better word. There's never anything but this inseparable, indivisible field of experiencing, right? It shows up as all this stuff, but it's a single field of experiencing. This is the great completion. And this is here right now, right? There's not going to be any more here. It doesn't become more here when you tune into the Zoom call. And it doesn't become less here somehow when the Zoom call ends or whatever else we might be doing. It's like it always looks different, but it's always the great completion. It's always the great perfection. Being. It's inescapable, isn't it? Undeniable, inescapable, unavoidable. Not something to acquire, not something to contrive, but just simply what's here magically and mysteriously and ever present. And it's as simple in one sense as what's being felt right now. It is what's being felt right now. And it is that which is feeling it, whatever that is. Call it consciousness. It seems like there's these two poles of existence, the subjective pole, call that awareness or consciousness, and the objective pole, whatever awareness or consciousness is aware or conscious of, right? That's how it sort of seems to appear. Like there's this phenomena appearing in consciousness, how it's often described, right? The subjective and the objective poles of existence. But really, it's a singular existence, isn't it? Because the dividing lines between those poles, if you had a pole and you had one end of the pole was subjectivity and the other end of the pole was objectivity, it's like it's a single pole. There's no actual separation anywhere between anything. Just feel that, feel that I remember doing a Zoom some time ago when I talked about yoga and, you know, yoga is the yoking together of whatever, Atman and Brahman, the soul and God, the individual and the absolute, yoking them together, like bringing them together, unifying them. That's yoga. And I talked about how the yoga is already accomplished. This is already unified. This is already a singularity. And just that's the great completion. It's done. It's done. It's done. So we can enjoy that. It's not a different perception, as I say, it's this perception. This perception is completely alive, isn't it? This perception. It's completely awake, the perception. It's completely mysterious as to exactly what it is. It's absolute openness, this perception. There's no boundaries and edges to the perception, right? It's here inexplicably, it's here spontaneously, it's here effortlessly. And it's here for no time, and it dissolves as it arises, and what we might call a new perception arises and dissolves. It's just, right? It's just absolute flow and ceaseless transformation of each momentary perception. But all the perceptions, no matter how they seem to be, how they seem to be described, are the great completion. They are inseparable from the whole. They are the whole. They are the expression of the whole. You are the expression of the whole. You are its. We are the rays of this sun. But the sun is shining, isn't it? The sun of reality is shining. That's the great completion. I don't have to do something to make the sun of reality shine forth. Here it is shining forth as this instant, as each one of us, as each appearance, as each phenomena, as each momentary perception. Just let yourself relax into that, the great completion that is this, exactly as it is. If everything is this, what else is there to find? What else is there to look for? This is it. By it, I mean reality. This is reality. And let yourself feel again and again and enjoy the seamlessness of it, the undivided nature of it. The fact that there's no borders or boundaries or walls or edges to it. It's just this open fluidity. Nothing standing between anything else, nothing blocking anything else. Just complete, unqualified openness. And that's already accomplished, already done. The openness is already done. The wakefulness is already done. The vibrancy already done, already complete. The wholeness already done, already complete. The being, the presence, the clarity, all of it done. Reality itself doing that openness, being that openness effortlessly, being this wakefulness effortlessly, this unfathomable intelligence that's here. This image came to me just now of like swimming in the ocean. Like when you're swimming in this body of water, it's swimming in the ocean, and you're like swimming in the ocean. It's like, where is the ocean? Where is the ocean? I'm swimming in the ocean. You are the ocean. There's nothing but.